Folks, welcome back to Varsity Lights. Jerry Miller here on NBC 29. Thanks for joining us this morning. And I'll tell you what, we'll welcome our good buddies from the Charlottesville MMA Institute, Matt McDowell, Jay Culligan with WEC 50 tonight on cable, gentlemen. Quite a bit to talk about. Matt, we'll start with you, our insider, our boy here that has ties to Matt Hughes in the UFC here. I mean, talk to us about WEC 50. What are you looking at tonight?
Actually, I just love watching the UFC because it's a lot of the lighter weight classes. It actually starts bantamweight, which in the UFC you're only going to see lightweight. So you're actually going to see 135 fighters, 145 fighters, and I always enjoy the lighter weight classes just because a lot of times they're a lot more explosive in general, just in their fighting.
Fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the big fight tonight. Joseph Benavidez, Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz might be the fastest thing you're likely to see in any level of MMA right now. It's a rematch of a title fight. Bowles coming off 2 good wins. Cruz coming off a win over Bowles. Benavidez coming off 2 good wins. These guys are both anxious for this rematch. It's tonight. It's on cable. It's going to be a great night.
I'll tell you what, when we're talking WEC, the first guy that comes to mind for me is Uriah Faber. He's a guy that's kind of become mainstream. You see him in a lot of commercials, whether it's the energy drinks or whatnot, whether people are branding the WEC. Faber, Matt, looks like he's going to be out for a little while.
Yeah, he was just recently injured. I can't remember exactly what the injury was.
It's a little unspecified, but out probably again until, at first it was going to be September. Now they're saying November, December. Faber, Matt and I were talking about Faber maybe turning into a guy who's turns up more in commercials than he does with his hand raised at the end of fights, but still very talented, extremely marketable. Seems
he sells fights.
He sells out fights if he fights in Sacramento, which is his hometown. Yeah. They always have him fight there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Uriah Faber's a guy that I think just brings a lot of energy, a lot of charisma. Because of that, you're going to see him on a lot of cards that are, let's face it, putting people in the seats, and that's what this business is all about.
Exactly.
This guy right here had the luxury in UFC, 117, of going backstage with your boy Matt Hughes. Give us the experience there, Matt.
Yeah, well, actually, it was a great experience as always. I actually got to corner Matt in Abu Dhabi at UFC 112. And in UFC 117, I just kind of get to go back and I kind of do all their running around for him. He has a great corner, Matt Pena, Jeremy Horn, Ruthless Robbie Lawler. So they're getting him ready, and I'm, getting him Gatorade. But it's a fun.
But in all fairness, Lawler and Horn have what, about 100 fights between them combined?
Well, Horn has over 100 fights.
Horn has over 100
by himself. Yeah, and Robbie Lawler fights in Strikeforce. It was a great fight. You saw Matt come out, beat Ricardo Almeida in the first round with a choke that's never been seen before in the UFC. It was just a great experience.
And to choke out a 4-time Brazilian national champion in BJJ, it doesn't happen every day. And by the way, where'd you get this handsome T-shirt?
Yeah, this is Matt's walkout shirt from UFC 117. So it's one more round.
That shirt makes you tougher.
That's why I wear it.
Boomer pulls it off maybe better than Matt Hughes, though. I'm just playing right there. I'm just playing right there. Guys, these guys, insiders from the Charlottesville MMA Institute, David Morris's gym off Berkmar Drive. And I'll tell you, Jay, as far as UFC 118 coming up, give us your preview. Expectations for 118.
Man, not too early to talk about this one, I don't think. The big one for me, I mean, they're billing it as the rematch between Frankie Edgar and BJ Penn. I don't know if you agree with me. I think BJ is going to absolutely control that fight.
After what happened in Abu Dhabi, for those of you who didn't see it, he lost by decision. And that was very controversial because to beat a champion, you have to beat a champion, especially when it comes to decision. Frankie Edgar did not do that. It was a huge upset in the MMA community, so BJ Penn's going to be out for blood this time. So this time I'm going to say Penn.
I think it's safe across the board right there. You got Penn as well?
I can't see. I mean, I like Frankie Edgar. I thought he had a great game plan. I cannot see him coming out and doing that, even close to that again to BJ, because BJ's not exactly going to come out and fight the same fight. But the one I'm looking forward to, this is a fight, James Lights Out Tony and Randy Couture. This is the fight that Dana White apologizes for. He said, I said I'd never give you a circus.
Boxing versus MMA.
Boxing versus MMA. I wouldn't do it, and I'm doing it, and here it is. And Randy gets the fight because he wanted the fight. How do you see this going?
Randy Couture all the way. This is MMA. This is our game. This is our sport. This isn't boxing. Huge rivalry between the two, and we're going to see who comes up on top.
We're going to watch it very closely, folks. Matt McDowell, Jay Culligan from the Charlottesville MMA Institute off Berkmar Drive. Go say hi to David Morris coming up.